Alright, for those of you who do not know how to record a studio session, I'm going to tell you right now. I got an 8-bar verse, and if you don't know what bars are, look it up on Google. But check this out. I got an 8-bar verse that I need to lay down for a track that I'm doing with my man Ray Jones from Pensacola, Florida. Go check it out. He's got a MySpace. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to, first off, we're going to have the beat. So, I don't even know what's not playing. There we go. So we got to have the beat first, right? Alright. So we got the beat right here. We got the track, main track going on over here. And if you can get in closer, that line right there is where I'm starting. The line right there is where the verse starting is. Now this, if I unmute this, it's muted right now. If I unmute this, you got your whole track right here. And you can open that up and there's all your layers and all that. But we're just going to leave that muted right now because I can't give y'all too exclusive. Here's my recording program. I mix it all in, come back, I'm going to record this 8 bars now. Alright, so we already did all the leveling. I checked out all the levels, make sure nothing's peaking or nothing like that. And you don't want it to peak because when you get in the club or when you get in a car, it's going to sound like too distorted, where people blow people's eardrums out, so you don't even want to hear that. So I made sure that's all nice and all smooth so that it doesn't do that. And we're gonna record the verse right now. I need to go back because I actually skipped over it. Yeah, now I'd be lying if I told you I was fine, but the fact still remains that I'm sick of all the crying and the pain and the stress from this pain in my chest. To explain it the best, it's like failing a test. Not a nickel, not a dime, you ain't worth the time. So now I'm better on my own, I'ma be just fine. Yep. Alright, now that's the first main vocal that's gonna be in the middle. Now I need to do a left and a right of that same thing that I just did. I'm gonna go through that real quick, show you how that's done. See, now I'd be lying if I told you I was fine, but the fact still remains that I'm sick of all the crying night. All that work for what? So now I'm sitting back thinking you ain't worth a buck. Not a nickel, not a dime, you ain't worth the time. So now I'm better on my own, I'ma be just fine. Yep. One more. I'd be lying if I told you I was fine, but the fact still remains that you... There's always mess ups. Always mess ups. You ain't worth the time, so what? One more. Alright. Yeah. See. Now I'd be lying if I told you I was fine, but the fact thinking you ain't worth a buck. Not a nickel, not a dime, you ain't worth the time. So now I'm better on my own. Alright, so this process right here is the mixing down process. I had to open up Fruity Loops, which gives me a bunch of effects and stuff like that. So we're going to take that audio that I just recorded and we're going to put it into here, which I've already done. I've imported the file into here. We're going to add some effects and make sure the levels are all right and all that kind of stuff. So, but the main ones that you're going to want to use is you're going to want to go to the reverb. And of course you can edit all these little presets, but that's personal preference. You know, I'm not going to spend too much time into it right now because everybody's got their own preference, but that sounds fine to me as it is. So all you really need is you need the reverb. Now what you're going to do is once you have this track, you got to mix that down. You're going to export it as a WAV file. If you export it as an MP3, it's going to be compressed and you're going to lose some type of audio and you don't want to do that. So compress it as export it as a WAV file. Now you're going to put it back into the folder that all your mixes are in. So now I'm going to call that verse edit. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it in here. And of course here comes all the mixing down. This is the true mixing down. So you got all this, and this is way too much to explain to you in this video. So as for now, what I want you to do is I want you to go check out this website. It's called GetDiscoveredMagazine.com. It's easy. You gotta go to it, GetDiscoveredMagazine.com. I guarantee you're gonna love it. If you like music, if you like any type of art, if you like having fun, go to this website, GetDiscoveredMagazine.com. I promise it will not let you down. You gotta go check it out. You do not want to miss out. Yeah.
Now I'd be lying if I told you I was fine, but the fact still remains that I'm sick of all the crying and the pain and the stress from this pain in my chest. To explain it the best is like failing a test when you studied all night, all that work for what? So now I'm sitting back thinking you ain't worth a buck, not a nickel, not a dime, you ain't worth the time. So now I'm better on my own, I'ma be just fine. Yup.
Baby, I'm not trying to diss you, but I can't be with